How's it going, guys? Today I'm installing a Perrin shifter stop on my 2019 Subaru WRX. It's supposed to take some of the slop out of the shifter feel in first and second. Cost me about 40 or 50 bucks, I can't remember, but it's a pretty easy install, so let's get started. To start this process, you need to take off the shifter trim around your shift knob, and also take off your shift knob. So we're going to go ahead, I already have it pre-popped out, but I'll show you where I popped it out from, and then we'll get started when we can get to the bolts. So pop this out starting from the top left-hand corner. You just pry up on the side and then pull it all around and it comes off. In order to get it off, though, you have to take off your shift knob. It's the same process for your stock one. I just have an aftermarket racing shift knob. If you're looking for an awesome shift knob, I would suggest getting the Slammer. It's fantastic. It's weighted and it works great. Whew, that thing's heavy. So once you get your shifter trim off, these are the two 10mm bolts that you're going to want to remove. And afterwards the washers go in where these 7mm screws are. If you want to go ahead and take your trim pieces off, if you have bigger hands it might be easier. But I think I could reach this just fine. The other thing you're going to want to note is that you need to have this in 5th gear when you start this process. So during this install, leave your car in 5th gear. We're going to fix this amount of slop in 1st gear and 2nd gear. If you look at 3rd, it doesn't really have anything, it doesn't really move. Same with 4th. What you're going to want to do is take the new Perrin shifter stop and you're going to want to set it on top of the 5th and 6th gear shifter stop. What I've done is I've pushed the factory shifter stop all the way into the shifter. The car is still in 5th gear and I'm going to set this on top. I'm going to take the supplied Allen bolts from Perrin and I'm going to hand thread them on each side. You don't want to tighten these all the way down, you just want them tight enough that you can move the shifter stops around and tighten them fully when you're done. So now that I got them hand tight, you want to take this and you want each one of them. You're going to want each one, I believe Perrin says, an 1/8 inch apart. If you have a ruler or whatnot, that's the third little line in from the 0 on the inch, if you're not familiar. So what I'm going to do is knock the shifter back and forth just ever so slightly to get it about 1/8 of an inch away. We can check it and measure it, but what you don't want to do is make it too tight that you can't get through the gate and get your car into gear. You just want to make it tight enough that it shifts smoothly and it doesn't have that slop anymore. So let's go for it. While the shifter stop is in, all I can say is take that side trim off because those little screws are a pain in the you-know-what. I have small hands and I was struggling. I actually had the best of luck going on the passenger side and actually trying to thread them in. You never realize how small a 7mm bolt is until you have to do it in a tight space. So I would recommend taking the plastic trim off just so you don't lose one of them. I actually did drop one of the washers and luckily I was able to get it with a magnet, but I was not happy when that happened. So what I'm gonna do is get everything buttoned up and I might go for a quick ride. I'm able to road through all the gears. I'd do it right now, but I'm on the passenger side still. So I'll pick back up in a few minutes when this is done. in, test this out, make sure that everything's good, make sure that I can get into every gear just easily while driving. I mean, I tested it down, but I want to make sure when I'm running through the gears that everything's good and I don't have to loosen anything up. Right away I can tell this feels so much better. This feels a million times better than it did before, and it was such a simple, easy mod. And even just going into first, like it's buttery smooth. I definitely recommend if you want a cheap mod. People that it does a lot while you're driving, but I mean, I didn't expect it to be that significant. I think I could even get it a little bit closer, but I kind of was messing with it for about a half an hour, and I'm happy with where it's at. It's almost exactly at that 1/8 on each side. I think the stop from factory is a little bit closer than the one I installed from Perrin, but I tried to mimic how it looked when I had the factory one there when I started out. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's install. I am super ecstatic with actually how well that worked for such a cheap and simple install. If you're looking for something to make the slop feel a little bit better in your shifter, this is definitely a way to go. Eventually I want to do the brass shifter bushing, but we'll get around to that one day. For right now, this feels great and I'm really happy I installed it. Shout out to Perrin for making an awesome product. It should have came like this from Subaru. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next install. Peace.